Doesn't really that matter.
We were over here. Yeah, we thought about putting the camera there, but that's the staff room, and we're glad we didn't because it got locked while we were out here. And then that one there is Luke's office, and he's sitting in there doing stuff. Yeah, that's the spiral staircase.
Hi. So we are in special place, but we still same podcast.
Yes. This is our 450 cents.
So our podcast name is come from our course, which is Fine Art 450.
Yep, and it also comes from the phrase "a penny for your thoughts" or "my 2 cents." So this is our 450 cents. It's more expensive because we're doing honours.
Even like we talk about today, like New Zealand minimum pay wage being rise up like a rocket in last 10 years.
I mean, cost of living has also been rocketing, but we should introduce ourselves first.
Yeah, so we are our students, fine art student. We're studying design in Island School.
Yep, at Island School of Fine Arts or Island SOFA.
Yeah, so this is like the end of third term.
Third term, we're nearly done. 1 term left.
Yeah.
We'll be finished, out of here, free at last.
So there's no 50.
Well, I don't know what the course code for like the
postgrad
and the honours papers are. I mean, I'd say we could yell at Luke, our lecturer who's in his office, who also runs those papers. But
maybe it's not in the frame.
Yeah, maybe don't yell at Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
I mean introduce ourselves as in, what's your name?
Oh, I'm Leo.
And I'm Grace.
You can see, like, we've been like a while back in the podcast.
It's only this is 2 weeks.
3 weeks.
Because we did one
in second week, and this is 6 weeks, so 4 weeks.
No, I'm sure we did it recently.
No, we only did one in this time.
Sorry, my bad. That's on me. I've been away a lot and I've been busy.
So,
oh goodness.
But we are in very special episode.
Yeah, we're outside. It's a nice day. Finally warm enough. Oh, to be warm enough is it?
You're not going to freeze into
You're
death.
not going to freeze to death. The sun is out. I might be wearing a hoodie and a jacket, but, you know, at least the sun's out.
Yeah, it's pretty warm for New Zealand winter.
Yeah, but also I think we've acclimatized to the cold finally. Like, it's been cold for long enough that we're used to it now. It'll start getting warm again. That's the thing. The daffodils are out. It's already getting warm again.
Yeah. Like last night, it's 3 degrees. I didn't.
No, it was -1 when I woke up this morning.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Can't imagine that.
It's frequently cold like that.
Yeah. So, do you want to talk about No, I can talk about that. Like, the reason we didn't do too much of the podcast is because we are quite busy.
I'm quite busy with stuff outside of uni, and you're quite busy with uni.
Yeah, like I feel like a pressure because, like, it's, as we said, it's third terms. So like as graduation, we've been requested to have like a body of work.
Yeah.
And our professor Luke was like talking that to me, like specific to me, like quite often, like giving me a lot of pressure.
You haven't made a lot of work this year. Like you've made a number of works now.
Yeah.
But at the start of this term, you'd made 1.
Yeah. So like,
if we don't count the podcast, which I'm not.
I'm looking from that.
No.
So like, if I'm going to calculate like how much work I did in this semester, so will be 1 computer lens, the vision lens, so 1 project on the wood net.
Let the wind pass because you might have to cut that.
Yeah, so we're not going to cut that.
Well, if the wind can get real crunchy, so they may not be able to hear you. Is more what I meant. So if we let the wind pass, then they're not missing any talking.
Like when the wind passed, we just left a little bit classical music playing our background.
The Vivaldi's 4 Seasons, and you put a clip in of winter.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, but you have to find a copyright-free recording of it, that's all.
Oh, definitely, like, I got the record, like, it's more than 50 years old, and so it's definitely out of New Zealand. Copyright. So, we got a weird student look at us, we are crazy guys.
Yeah, no, but to be fair, They are also an art student. We're not that strange.
He probably a music student.
Why was he coming from photography then?
Album filter? The best guess
Bathroom?
I can get. Oh, yeah.
I don't think he's music. He's probably just using the lab down there or something.
Yeah, could be. So, we just said like I done like a project in this year's like information lens, computer lens, one of the projector on the woodnet,
Yeah.
and one of the very crazy work of the wall, like do not overwrite it.
Yeah.
And then I did I did a little bit operation on that work a little bit more, and then I did one is like called I have a name. I don't have a name for it yet.
Yeah.
But I will.
It's your
Politician letter something, and I don't know. I had horrible
political
name.
letter.
Yeah. I don't know. Political bingo.
Oh, that's fun. I like that. Do you want to talk about that?
Right. Yeah.
That's the lovely thing with New Zealand. We have 4-year election cycles, and so our first year was an election cycle, and our final year is an election cycle. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. First year was also COVID, but just casually. Let's elect a government.
I feel it's the second year somehow.
No, it was first year.
The end of first year.
End of first year. Yeah, it got pushed back, so it was even later than it would have been because it got pushed back by
Oh yeah, I remember that.
3 weeks because of COVID, I think.
Yeah, like was a kind of debate about that. Should we allow
It was the second ever time that the election had been moved. They considered cancelling it, like moving it a whole year, but they made the
That's
decision
definitely
not
not good.
No.
Yeah.
I think it wouldn't have been the end of the world, but I don't think Labour would have stayed in if it had been pushed. Although we had another wave of COVID the same time the next year,
Yeah.
because we ended up in lockdown again at the same time the next
The
year.
longest one actually.
No.
No?
For Auckland, maybe. Because
Yeah.
it was when Delta broke out, but not for the rest
Which
of
is the biggest election zone.
True. You got me there.
So, election. Like, well, I come from a country.
Yeah, talk about election bingo. What is
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I come from a country like, I haven't voted for Asian forever. Never. So, like, the one part I come to New Zealand is like, it's a small, old, traditional-ish society, but it works well, I would say. Like some people say democracy don't work well in New Zealand. No, that's kind of work well. It's fine.
It
It's
could
work.
definitely be a lot worse.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
Like I not have like huge problem yet. Like we don't need to destroy it. Like it's fine. It's okay scenario. And we got MMP system. I'm pretty sure you know better MMP than me.
Bro, I vote. I don't understand a lot of the actual technical side of it, but I think MMP means that there's like a main or the way it's panned out in New Zealand anyway is that there are main parties, but the minor parties get in as well.
Yeah.
So it's based on the percentage of votes. Anything over 7% gets a seat in the House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like it.
Me too.
Like I like small party can be there and shout out like you don't join the situation like nah I don't like either of them.
Yeah.
But, like they always have different voice. Like diversity is
Yeah.
always better. So that way, that's cause like I would say 5 major party in New Zealand.
I think that's fair. Who would you label as our 5 major? Because I can think of the 3 major and then 3 or 4 minor.
Yeah, but
I think we have more than 5 major.
I kind of counting to like last 2 election have ever get inside parliament. 5.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right.
So that would be what? Labour, National, Greens,
Act.
NZ first.
Yeah, and the Mori.
Māori didn't get in at the list the last election.
But it got a seat in anyway.
I don't think so.
No, it got a permanent seat. Like 1 or 2.
I don't think that's the Māori party though. I think that's just they need.
Mori.
Yeah, like there needs to be tangata whenua representation in the House. But I could be wrong about that. But I think the other one that's quite big this election, and I think they nearly got a seat last election, was the top party, the Opportunity Party.
I could just include in that. Like
Yeah, so I think we're sitting at about 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that good idea is like I probably can put more inside. So like
7 loud ones, but I think there's a lot of other smaller ones that are
Yeah.
probably similar sized to some of the other parties.
So like well, like there's not much people listen to our podcast, but I imagine if you're from America, you don't quite get it. But you can quite get it in Europe. Like you got a different variety of party, like quite in traditional way left, quite right, quite chaotic in the middle, and something some parties just out where you don't know where is the point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, so I collect like they got a lot of ideas. Like some party, like they be shut out one thing very loud, like Green Party.
Green Party does a lot of things.
Yeah, but like
They tend to do one thing at a time, though, whereas National and Labour, because they're the two main ones, have to do a lot of things at a time.
yeah. So like and also like I find out a lot of people I know about they're not that interesting about the election. So, but I feel it's quite important things. Like I mean, like New Zealand in Democrats and the democracy works, but it works the foundation
It's going to
on.
be really loud in the recording.
Oh, I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
so the reason it works is because you need vote. If you don't vote, nothing work.
Yeah.
If you don't work with it, nothing going to work.
Yeah.
So like you need to know about those parties, I would say.
I think that's fair.
And I'm boring like that day, not like boring, but so I get on the all the websites of the other party. So I download every policy they say they're going to make.
Of all of the parties, or just the big key ones?
Oh,
Oh, nice.
so I got more than 500.
Oh, wow.
It's enough of the books now.
Yeah.
So like I got more than 500 policy they can make. Like, do you know who got the most?
Probably Labour, right?
No.
No?
The most interesting one is the Green got the most policy. You can't imagine that. Like you just don't know. You can't think about that. Like you think like the bigger party do that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised because they're the third biggest.
Yeah,
They're the swing one normally.
the second biggest.
Second biggest is National.
No, Maury.
Oh no, not. Oh, you mean number of quotes you pulled?
Yeah,
I mean
the,
influence.
The plan.
Yeah.
The plan they got like
Yeah.
yeah.
Number of policies. No, I was talking about biggest as in number of policies.
The seat.
Yeah, influence. So
yeah.
Green is third biggest. So I'm not, but because they're not one of the key two, I guess I'm not as surprised because I feel like it makes some sense.
Right. So like I will quite shortly talk about those things. Like it's like Green got most like full plan. Surprised me. Usually Green don't do that well in Europe.
Yeah, Green's pretty big in New Zealand.
Yeah, that's good. I like it.
Yeah, me too.
So like and then the National talk a lot, but and very like energized. So they don't have really specific plan, but they could talk about we will make something, but they don't have like specific plan. So like some kind of little bit mix up is quite little bit difficult to dig out, but it's still fine. They have specific page about that, like what we're going to do.
Yeah.
New Zealand First is the most easy one.
Oh yeah.
So like because the
That's
in the
Winston
green,
Churchill's party, isn't it?
yes,
Yeah. Okay.
So in the Green Party, they have like sub page. So you need clicking every sub page and copy everything out. It's
Yeah.
not big comments. And the New Zealand First, everything in one page.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so like you just copy everything by once.
Yeah. So New Zealand,
you.
you probably may or may not be aware of this, but New Zealand First was bigger than Green, like
Was.
influence-wise. Yeah. So they were the swing party for the election that Labour got in. So Winston Peters was vice prime minister. That doesn't sound right. Like the person.
It's
underneath.
vice president,
Yeah, vice
probably.
prime minister. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the election before the 2021, so the 2016 election,
Yep.
from that to 2020 he was vice prime minister, because New Zealand First was the swing party, and then for the 2020 election, Greens was the swing party. So yeah, I thought that
But
was
2020, no one is swing party because Labour get
yeah, but
themselves.
they decided, didn't they decide? No, I'm pretty sure they.
co-operation, but not co-government.
Oh, okay, yeah. I couldn't remember, but I remember that they had some agreement with the Greens. But maybe it was the Greens and New Zealand First for the 2016 one then. I can't remember, but I know
Yeah.
Greens was smaller than New Zealand
So-
First, and then New Zealand First like nearly collapsed at the 2020 election. Yeah.
And then come back to the research. Like we got a Maori Party is so like similar with the New Zealand Green Party. So like quite detailed.
Yeah.
Like
I
lots
did.
of page.
Have you seen those like political alignment tests that have been going around
Oh
again?
no, I don't trust them.
That's fair, but there's one that talks about what policies. There's one that I think Stuff NZ or a subsidiary or something in that area did. That's like specifically related to the New Zealand one, so it's
Yeah.
done just for the New Zealand one. So it wasn't so much your political alignment, but which party do you agree with the most?
Yeah.
And I think I got Greens New Zealand and the Maori Party the most because they had a lot of the same things.
I'm happy you mentioned that, but the project in this one,
Yeah.
the bingo one, is just try to like avoid this situation.
Oh.
Like, yeah. So Cabot, like we have one party left,
Yeah.
Labour, which is the current government. They don't have any policy.
Oh.
They're the only party don't have the policy page. They have a page is like our priority. They got a 6 or 7, 8, something like very
Yeah.
small number, but they not going to have any plan or policy. You say we focus on that, but which they focus everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like the basic is like education. How we did well in last 8 years,
Yeah.
and we're going to do better in next 4 years.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I need digging like the news page
Yeah.
and try to find out everything. And like I'm still scared, like I didn't get everything out. So they had the most painful one.
Yeah, that sounds like a headache.
Yeah. So so that way I got all the details, all like 500 notes
Yeah.
about all the policy of the New Zealand 5 party. I probably
You
gonna
just
get
do the
more.
5 or did,
5. I probably gonna do more after you say the
Okay.
top is almost getting the
yeah, top is getting it was pretty close. I think they were at like 6.7%, so they nearly had a seat last election if they didn't have a seat, but I thought they had at least one seat. I could be wrong though.
yeah, and so I put in the Excel. Like I find it's really useful for Excel to dealing with like a lot of text. Like it's not only for the members. And then so like I put one column is about the random number, and then random organize it, so it's totally random.
Yeah.
But I still know it, but I color them. So each policy have like a random serial number. It's 3 digits.
Yeah.
If I added another 2 party, maybe go beyond 4 digits. Wow, it would be pain. So so I got a bunch of party like the reason I do that is because when I doing the research, I found out that like a lot of good policies come from the party. I'm surprised with it, and then tell with my friends say, "Oh, look, this party they're actually not that bad. They're pretty good, especially on this." And then people just say, "Why you think about that? Why you talk about that? They're all shit." Like well, after I did the research, like they're not all shit.
Yeah.
Like they're not like idealism, but they're all fine with them.
Yeah.
Like they're not evil. No one is evil in there.
Yeah.
Like especially in this 5.
Especially in New Zealand, all of our parties are left leaning. Like
Yeah.
even National is like the most central, but it's still left, I think, technically. We have like one right leaning party, like that is significantly
New something.
yeah. But for the most part, everything's actually fair.
Like,
if you compared it to the States,
Yeah.
all left leaning. Whereas in the States, the Democrats and the Republicans are both right wing. I'm
So-
sorry, but it's true.
So
And
like
it's so
especially
odd.
like all the parties talk about zero
Yeah.
carbon. Like so that's
Yeah.
why. So it's making this game more even more funnier. So like I mix since because all my friends have like a lot of my friends have like it's boring. They're all evil. I don't have
Yeah.
no interesting inside. So I decided to make like a small books. So as I said, I got like a lot of the policies, and I probably have a random number on from this 3-digit number. Then I just like organized by 1 to 570 something like that. Then like you can read it. Like you don't need read from 1 to 500. You just
read a whole bunch of them.
like read it like just like random pick one, like blah blah blah. Actually, I like it. So you got a digit.
Yeah.
But like you don't know which party have it, and like you're gonna guess which party, and then in the end of page, like in the end of book, they have a sheet. You just search like number 137, Mori party. Wow, surprise! I don't know they have policy that if like in the beginning, if you don't have this book, you probably not even go to there to search.
Yeah.
Or like you are like very not like green people, and then you find like green party sometimes actually standing on your side. So I kind of make a bingo book, and I was talking with Luke today, and I'm probably going to make a small phone game. So like guess which party it is, like give you policy, and you got choice which one, and you got the like marks.
Yeah.
So this is like one brand new project.
That's cool. I'm excited to see how that goes.
Yeah, like it's like political artwork is always the one like I'm quite scared about, but this one I feel safe. It's like it's totally related to New Zealand, not related to anything else.
Yeah, and it's not one you've got an opinion tied to visually. Like it's
Just
opinionating it almost, where it's like you
kind
can't.
of opinion, like just tell people go to look at around and go to vote.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah, I guess what I mean is
anyone.
it's not picking a side in the way most political artwork often does, where it picks a party or it picks a point that it's backing, whereas you're more kind of being like, yo, stop just
Choose
voting
one.
because the party, have a better look at everything. Like look at these lovely policies. Aren't they tasty?
And especially like when you like read through that amount of research, like all the party looks like not that bad.
Yeah.
Like I want, like I was say today earlier to say I want all the party inside parliament. I don't want anyone to just leave out, because some of the good policies, even like if you just yell out from the parliament, are still good for this country.
Yeah. I think there's a couple that have had policies where I'm like, that is just a bad policy, and that is so bad that even if your other policies are good, I'm not sure I want you in. But I think the advertising I've seen for most of the parties this time round hasn't been like that. Although when I took that test, I was looking, it gave like a breakdown of like, you thought this based on your answers, but these are the parties that agree with you, and these are the ones that don't. And there were some where it was like basic human rights they didn't agree with, and I was like, I'm sorry.
Well, it's like be controversial. Like if you read the book, like on the mate, like you're going to see like different parties have a totally different idea about what is human rights or racist.
This is also true, yeah.
So like, what do you mean human rights? What do you mean racist? That doesn't mean anything. You need to dig it out. You can't just follow like something like Snapchat or Instagram stuff. Like say, oh, let me do something like Harry Potter hashtags to see which academic you belong to.
Yeah, that's fair.
So like the reason I did run this and I started putting so much energy is because like I always want to do politician artwork and I never did it. Like in my first 4 years in the school, it's a bit the regrets. I want to do it earlier, and I seen some of my fellows did. Quite jealous.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just try to do something more, a little bit elegant and less angry, because and I've been always keep it far away from the something make me angry about politician with.
Yeah.
So this one don't make me angry, so it's good. Like I'm quite happy, and I've been generally have more belief and trustful for this country after I do the research.
Yeah.
And besides that, like after the book, like you don't need to, even after election, this book's still useful. You just open it. You don't need care about party. Like I changed all the party name, like National Will, blah blah blah. I changed to We Will, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It's like a community sound. It's a sound of the New Zealand general society want to go.
Yeah.
So like, it's New Zealand people should know. Yeah.
I think it's fascinating you're focusing on policies, because they're definitely an important part of the political race, but I know that people often vote based on whoever's leading the party or a candidate.
Which MMP system should avoid that?
Yeah, but it's hard to do, because people, even at high school, people will vote for the person they know and the person they like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do the same in any election ever.
Okay. Quick thought. if imagine like we have this system before election, we
Yeah.
don't allow have like the leader of the party. We only have like the manager of the party. But the manager party,
It won't matter. People will, if they
No.
like the manager, they'll pick it.
the manager party don't allow good work inside the government.
Oh.
So after election, the party start voting by themselves to get the leader of the party.
Yeah, but that's almost always going to be the person who manages it.
No. If we just pass a law, the manager of the party not.
It's not allowed to be that person. Interesting.
I think it become
I don't
better system.
hate it,
Yeah.
but I don't think that would solve the problem, if that makes sense. Because then people will vote for who they think will get, like, it'll still influence it. Because I am not even talking so much that it's, like, I voted Greens, partly because I liked Greens' policies at the last election. I felt like they were only ones that were looking at the issues students were dealing with, and the only ones that had policies to address it. Has anything happened with that? The housing's getting better. The minimum wage has gone up, and those are both things that they were running on. But I think those are things that might have happened anyway. But that's not a bad thing, necessarily. They would have had an influence in that.
Did you know the Green Party say they're going to make policy to make not only living room have heater device, permanent salt, also bedroom when you rent a house?
That would be good, because
This is
that was
great.
that's such an issue in every flat I've lived in.
Yeah,
But I think permanently installed's an issue, but there should be at least in the flat one for every room, which I don't think
every
there is.
bedroom.
Every bedroom, yeah, which there
Yeah.
isn't currently.
And also, like they're also pretending like solving the rent problems because they only allow rise like 3% a year, and also the new rent fee will need to match with the last rent fee. So you can't just like kick someone out and suddenly rise up the rent like 20%. No, that don't work anymore.
That would be fascinating.
Great.
Well, that'd be great, but I feel like, I mean, I guess they want to make it easier for people to be first home buyers, because I feel like that would do the changes in renting law has off and on over my lifetime. I've seen it tank a lot of the renting market, and so I worry at what point you reach the point of they can't raise the rent enough to cover the cost based on inflation, and so the only houses that are rented out are the shitty ones that are kept just barely above within the requirements, kind of maybe wink, because that's a lot of the places I've lived in. And growing up, that was something we dealt with, because I rented all my childhood. We lived in a couple of places. We got really lucky. We had a really lovely landlord for a large chunk of it. And when we moved out due to family issues, we moved in with my grandmother. She ended up selling the property. Like, she rented it out for another year or two, and then she sold it because the laws changed about that time. And she's like, actually, it's too much hassle to get this up to a property. So if I sell it, it becomes someone else's issue. And so she sold it, and the person who lives in it now owns it. So it's like, it's not a bad thing necessarily, but it's just, it's something that I would be worried about.
No, it's still recording. So,
Yeah.
do you want to talk about a little bit about your work?
Ooh. No, I don't know. My work's a bit odd at the moment.
Just tell the title.
Yeah, I call it The Wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in the foyer of Block 1, I have installed an entire wall covered in printouts of memes. Just fine arts things.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
beside that, you got one more thing?
Oh, I also annotated it, and I've made a book.
Yeah. So you got
Yeah.
two projects.
I don't know.
Which one you want to talk about?
Kind of the book, actually. Luke suggested that I make a zine, which is really funny because I feel like we've heard him talk about how much he hates zines a lot.
Did we? Just
swear-
once.
Just once? No, more than once, because it... I don't know.
I mean,
Maybe it
I
was
can't
Aaron as
say-
well. Maybe Aaron
I
also
can't say
said
that
he hated
loud
zines.
because he literally can hear us.
I don't know that.
I feel Luke is desperately push us to do some more walks so he can just do anything, even he
We're
hates.
really bad at producing work. It's fine. I'm better than Leo, but not by much this term. I have to, but we were talking about that.
No, I am very productive in this term.
And I've been busy, just not here. But yeah, the plan going forward is I bought a receipt printer. Well, I I purchased, but I haven't paid for.
Just purchase.
Yeah, a receipt printer, and I want to talk to you about ordering some of the coloured
Yeah.
things. And yeah,
Oh, so are you going to use the receipt printer to do the things? To make things?
I was thinking I could potentially, but no. There's 3 projects that I need.
You literally can.
I could. And I think long term, after I'm finished here, I'll be one of those people that turns up to like little zine festivals with my little table of pictures and some stickers, and then I'll have my printer, and people will be like, "What?" And I'll be like, "What zine would you like?" And they'll be like, "What?" I'll be like, "Free zine with every purchase." And they'll be like, "Okay." And then I'll just hit buttons when they pay for something, and then it's like, "Here's your receipt," and it'll be like,
20 meters long receipt.
no, probably like 20 centimeters. So like a longish
No.
one. It had,
Do you
like,
know
the little
CVS?
Yeah. Oh, yes. It's just like
CVS receipts.
information overload.
Yeah, like 20 meters CVS receipts with all the coupons and things inside.
I was thinking, so I want to do a work where it's memes on receipts,
Yeah.
which is what the printer's for. I want to do taking the receipts I've collected already, and then talked about another installation like the wall, but changing the format up a wee bit so that I'm using a thicker pen than what I've used.
Yeah.
Because we were looking at my test ones that are by my desk,
Yeah.
and they just present so much differently to the ones that are on the
I
wall.
have ideas. I maybe work really well.
Yeah.
You just like set a table in the front of block 1
Yeah.
and put your zinc, like you print it there,
Yeah.
and everyone walking, you just stop them. You literally use your human to stop them.
Have
You're standing there. No,
Enough.
listen to me. Like you don't need 4 days, but
I'm
like
not confident enough for this.
like, and then they will feel like you are giving them the ticket.
Oh.
But the reality is you choose like probably like 20 of the memes, choose one, print it out, give to them, say, here you go.
Surprise Pikachu. It's just like you trying to enter blocks.
So like,
me
so
with
when
me.
they walk in, they expect like
Yeah,
see,
for your
something
seat.
like a ticket. Like you just sit there like officially, like you get a suit. Like, no,
No,
it would be so
my
good.
boyfriend's suits don't fit him anymore, and I'm like just smaller enough than him that I reckon that I'll fit his suit. So next
Yeah,
time I'm up, I'm
because-
100% going to be
Yeah,
like,
it's
"Can I
still the
try on your
people there,
suit?"
and you don't say it's tickets, but it looks like someone's giving the people a
Just
free
have like a
ticket.
sign on the front that says, "You need a meme. Change my mind."
And then it just give the people like just literally stop everyone walking in and say, you need to take one of these first, and then
Ticket.
give to them one of the means.
Ticket.
Oh,
Oh, look, the
the-
lights on.
Well, it's night now.
It's warm. I wonder where the sensor for that is.
No, I probably
It must be down there somewhere. Surely.
no. I would say it's like
it's on a timer.
controlled by the
Yeah, because that did be fair. It's probably linked to the time of year as well. Because,
yeah. It's like a 2 time winter and summer.
yeah, because this is winter and it was dark at this time of. Oh no, it's only 3:30. It wouldn't have been.
Maybe we are blocking light.
Maybe we are blocking light. We have a shadow. We block light, Leo. I'm an impenetrable object.
So like that's what I say. Like it's the project you can do, but
Yeah.
let me just slightly come back to your magazines.
Yeah, the zines. Talking about the idea of like how I felt like the book that I made felt like a magazine and like the way it was weighted and stuff. And Luke was like, "Oh, I wonder whether you could make like how like could you fill one of these in a month?" I'm like, "I could probably fill one of these
A week.
2 weeks. No, not a week. I could do a
Right.
short one
So,
because they're typically like about one a day, or 1 page a day. Sorry, 1 to 2
I
pages a day.
can like if I do it, I was way more than that.
Yeah, but I don't buy loads. But I buy enough that I'm collecting probably like 7 pages a week. And depending on how big the zine is, I feel like I could do one every 2 weeks.
Yeah, actually, you should do it because like you don't do too much edit.
But
Like, I feel like-
I already have like 3 or 4 months worth of receipts collected, so I could do a whole bunch of issues of it and then start doing
What
them
about newspaper?
lifetime. Nah, bro, not interesting.
Zeke from yesterday. No, receipt from yesterday.
Nah. Oh, that's a cool title though. I like that. I might steal that. But nah, I don't think newspapers are a certain aesthetic and they print it on certain paper. And like you could do a cover art that looks like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm more likely to use a photo from that time period.
Yeah, like I was talking about the SK about he feel he little bit like need more energy to go front. So I say like you stop doing something about yourself, like use one day to do a small tiny beta project about someone else.
He's been introspective all year. I'm not surprised he's burnt out on it. He's produced less work than you, I think.
Yeah, so that way I would say something like maybe you want to do a project, go to Parking Safe or any supermarket, like waste trolley, and they all have like someone's like receipt inside.
Yeah, but that's not that takes it too far away from why they're important to me. Because for me it is about the personal connection, and I'm not being introspective about it. That's the thing, it's more like looking at photos in an old photo book when I'm dealing with receipt stuff. It's not actually loads of introspective reflection-y stuff. And also, I was literally writing earlier today before I had my meeting with Luke that like I don't feel like a graphic designer. Everything I've ever made at the school, I've only ever made one of. I've never really done anything mass producible.
That's the reason I did the political bingo one, because I didn't say that words, but Luke said that was yesterday and a few days ago. Like, now you're doing this prove you are a good designer, but you need to do something else more. So I feel I don't do much graphic design work in this year.
He said he asked why would a graphic designer find this interesting about the wall. And I was like, I don't know, man, I'm not a graphic designer. And he's like, that's concerning. You're a fourth year design student. I'm like, I'm an artist.
It's a design student.
It's
design student, not graphic.
I know how to think like a graphic designer. My work is definitely design influenced at this point, but I don't feel like I know how to think like a graphic designer. I don't feel like we've definitely been taught about how graphic designers think, but it's not clicked for me. It has for a lot of our classmates. Rosetta designs like a graphic designer. You design like a graphic designer. You design like an installation artist who is also a graphic designer. But I don't feel like I do. I feel like all of my work is very childish almost. Not in a bad way. In an intentional way. But like it doesn't feel refined enough to be called graphic design.
Yeah. But wait, second question. Like you say, you know what you're going to do after uni. What are you going to do?
I want to work in education.
So it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Like childhood designer, education. It makes sense.
It's definitely It's interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to move Wellington, I think, because that's where my boyfriend is and my family is. But I have to find somewhere to live and also a job. So that's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that works. So like it doesn't matter. It works. Like you can just do something like childhood books, childhood design stuff, design for children.
Yeah. But no, not just that's the thing. Childlike rather than childish rather than for children. So it's just.
So you don't feel design for children?
I want to, but I don't know if I can because I think too much. And this is an issue I work with kids fairly regularly. It's an issue I run into because I have trouble dumbing things down. I like to give you all of the information always.
My problem this year.
Hydrated works. We've been making a wet work up in here. Soggy.
I didn't talk about that yet, but like the reason I are able to produce so much work in this term is I give out one of the major line I want to do in last term. It's like I want to present all the information, all the background, or everything you could miss together.
And that's kind of what my wall is. My wall is an attempt at just telling too much about everything, which I kind of love. I kind of want to make a whole bunch of little zines about I like this meme because, and then just like have my meme and then annotate it and have all of the reasons why I like it and then have another meme. I feel like that could be fun, but
like I'm totally like, we have.
Do you think you get locked out? You do get locked out. That's funny.
You can drop.
It's a good.
It's literally just like a 40 centimeters and 1 meter. You can definitely jump.
The worst jump.
Yeah. And even if
it's not the worst. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's not good.
But it's not that bad.
Your chance of death is only like 60%. It's fine.
It's not that bad. We have ACC. Jealous? Americans? Anyway.
I love ACC. They can be a pain in the ass, but they're better than nothing.
Yeah. So,
Sad. Oh, he's moving a table, I think.
yeah. Oh no, it's good. I can see the camera indicator light is still on.
Yeah.
So,
What are we at time-wise? 40 minutes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, the things I want to say is like I gave up the try to give all the information together. I allowed to turn into a totally another side to limit the information to make you notice you lost in information.
Yeah.
So that is really how it works. It's just like in the beginning of the second year, we've been allowed out to do anything we want. Like it's just so hard.
Yeah.
Like once I give my limitation, it's just easier.
That's fair. Yeah, I feel like something that Richard Bullen taught in whichever of the art history courses it was. I think it was in the theory of criticism, but he probably mentioned it also in his Japan ones, but I didn't take them. Was he said that he was talking about the tea ceremony, which he's studied because Japanese art is kind of his area, and he's like, I didn't like they talk about it as an art form, and I didn't really understand that until I experienced it, and then I realized that it was the creativity and the limitations of it. It was like the rule set was so strict that the creativity was so much more in a way.
Yeah, it's quite like a fine tune. Like you you give the question to allow people how to think and how much you can think. So in some way, asking a question is artwork, like art piece, the major part.
Yeah, I have a book on my desk that I bought a while back that talks about it as well. It's like give yourself rules or something like that, and it's talking about how to be creative, how to beat artist block, and that being a way that they do it is they actually give themselves a set of parameters, and then they create within those parameters and try to break them without breaking them. And I thought that was really cool. I was like, yes, that. That's me. I have memes pasted on a wall, bro. Artist block 101, but also it completely relates. Like all of my work has these same ties through, and it's cool. I love it. This year's actually been really fun. I've hated it, but also it's been great.
So I want to talk a little about your wall.
Yeah, my wall. I have talked so much about that wall.
You put so much energy inside, but so you're not going to talk. You don't need to talk much.
Yeah, I did. I put a lot of energy into it. I pulled a nearly all-nighter to finish it. I ran out of blue tuckets.
So what we're going to ask you like a few short questions.
Okay.
Do you like it? Yes or no?
I don't dislike it. I think I do like it. It does what I wanted it to do, not as well as I wanted it to do, but it does what I wanted it to do.
Right. Do you want to do more about it?
I'm going to, yes.
So are you going to keep in the same place?
No, I'm thinking I'll put it between the toilets. On that cinder block wall between the, in block 1, between the female and male toilets, but I won't do the whole wall. I will section off a middle section so that it's basically even. It's kind of a square.
Are you going to change the format?
A little. I think I might do them in all A3 size, rather than doing them with the mixed. So I'll reuse a lot of the same images, but I will re-annotate them. That's something we're talking about today is like, but I might mix it. I don't know. I'll see. I haven't decided yet. I haven't thought about that one too far, but I am going to do more.
So like, so I'm going to talk a little about that peaceful walk. Anxiety.
Oh yeah, it stressed you out. You weren't the only one though. There was a few murmurs of agreement in the crowd when you mentioned that at the crit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas like it's overwhelming. It is meant to be information overload.
Yeah, but it's like, I would say like, because like as another work we're going to talk about a little bit later, like because the position of it, the location of it changed the meaning. If it's on the wall, on the streets, I'm not going to be anxiety about it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's academic. Like I'm treating academic. It's my word. I'm expecting my everything. So like I'm being forced to like looking at it.
Yeah.
Like that's the part like start anxiety. So, are you going to amplify that way?
I don't think so. It's not the key part of it. The key part of it for me was kind of the connections and transientness as well. It was more forcing people. I guess the forcing people to notice it was a part of it, because it was like, take this thing that people will look at, laugh at, and never remember, and put it in a setting where they're not going to be able to forget it easily, if that makes sense. So it's like putting it, especially in that space, they have to walk past it all the time. They have to look at it. They'll interact with it over and over and over again, right? But I'm
kind of skipping already.
Yeah, you probably zoned it out to a
Yeah.
point, but it's still like there's aspects of it like you're forcing them to consider it. If it was in an art gallery setting, it'd be the kind of thing where it's like, this is not something that you would normally present here. This is something that doesn't even fall into this realm. But by presenting it and annotating it, it presents it as a work to be critically looked at, and that has been critiqued. And so, that wanting to see whether you agree with it or not, and the collaborative nature of that kind of thing is really fascinating to me.
Right. Yeah, that's all. Oh, yeah, the one last question. Like a lot of people mention like they want to write on it, and you also mentioned like you maybe put some pens on there.
I did think about dumping a load of pens in front of it before I tore it down, but if I was going to do that, I would have done it today when there's still a lot of people around. I don't really want to leave it up all the way over break.
So you're gonna take it down
I'll
today?
take it down. No, not today. I'll take it down Monday, Tuesday, somewhere there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all my question.
Cool.
So you got some question to ask me about my previous project in exactly same place? I feel like this is the place I can talk about that work because I feel...
Do you want to talk about what happened? So the work was a poster that said...
I think it's easy you talk about that.
Worth listening to, or you don't have anything to say?
Oh, yeah. It's like this.
What did it say? I can't remember.
I'm going to say like a project, like what it is in the beginning.
Yeah.
So like...
Because we haven't talked about it yet very much, I don't think.
Yeah. So influenced by another project, but itself become quite separation. So it's the format. It's like A0 paper.
Yeah.
Kind
I think it was A1.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it
but
was A1.
It's a big enough paper. The big enough you're gonna normally see. It's like big enough you can normally see in academic, but not normally you can see in the outside world.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
It was poster sized, but you put it on its side.
Yeah.
A lot of posters are A0, like film posters.
So it's white. It's very cheap paper.
Yep. It's just like
I choose the cheapest paper I can
Bond, I believe.
Yeah, triple bond, not even matte.
I'm sorry if my voice volume goes up and down a whole bunch. I keep moving away from the wall and then realizing and walking all the way back. So sorry.
So it's like triple bond. The cheapest one like $1.5 per meter.
I think it's more than that, but I'd believe you if it was that.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I've worked with the different roll sizes too much to remember exactly.
So that way, it's cheap. Because in the beginning I was planning to do a lot of like similar projects and updates like a magazine. But I kind of stopped. I will tell you the reason later. So on it, I used a brown color, like something kind of
like a reddy brown, like brick almost.
Yeah, and like.
Was that intentional?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I want something red, but not like too red.
Yeah, you don't want attack red. You wanted just enough to like
tell you and like kind of like solid, but not black.
Yeah.
So
I like that it wasn't black.
Yeah. Like the black one was just like so like easy to ignore. And like a light brown, like beginning I will change to red. I think like too aggressive and too like just too bright and too like not designed.
Yeah.
So I could choose like a brick brown red color and the specific design that color to tell it like feel a warm meaning and also like solid feeling. So like always like write like a small text. It say you have nothing to tell, and down there is like aggressively like heavy bold text. It say do not overwrite it.
Yeah.
And then
it was impact. You've used impact a lot in the last few years.
I like impact.
Impact's good. That's like me. I keep using Futura for things. Although I haven't been this year. I was like, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to use Futura. So I'm using one that looks like receipt paper instead, which I need to buy the license for. So I'll leave that. I grant to that.
So, and then beside that, I use like really skinny and really like fashion-y, like early 2000 fashion-y like text.
It was a serif font.
Yeah, serif fonts, like very skinny. Yeah. And it's quite big.
Quite big. I was surprised how big.
Yeah, usually.
Yeah, I feel like if it had been a bit smaller,
would be better.
Or in Comic Sans. If it was smaller and in Comic Sans, it would have made a little more sense.
I don't use Comic Sans. That's the reason.
Yeah, no, that's fair. It was just an interesting choice. I remember going, like I didn't think it was yours initially. I assumed it was a second or a third year. Probably a second year. I looked at it and I went, okay. And I was just like, wrote a meme on it. I was like, we've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. And then the next time I came back, it was covered in just so many memes.
Yeah.
I was
So
like,
like, wait, why do you think it's second year?
I don't know. I think it's because it was so not connected to your project that it didn't feel like it fit. That's why it's like second or third year, because I didn't really know their projects very well. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So coming back from there, so I leave a pen in there. I figured out like it's quite hard to figure out how to put the pen in there because
You did pretty well.
yeah. So like beginning, I want to put like a pen and then the line and the pen. Like it's just not going to look good.
No.
But like I'm browsing the Kmart.
Yeah. As you do.
Yes, and I find that things.
The Velcro dots. Yeah.
That is perfect.
So good.
Yeah, you can like reuse it as much as you can, and it's still be. Yeah. No, he probably walk inside and probably walk his dog out. Anyway, so
If you see him walk past, you need to tell me. I want to yell at his dog.
so I live there, and people starting to write it, and a few days later, it's more and more. And then like
I was surprised how long you left it up for.
yeah, well, like how long I left it up for is not between.
Oh, that's Colin.
That it is. That's,
It's a dog! Look at the dog!
I looked. So, so like the reason I live there for a long time is not because like I won't live there for a long time. It's because I am so lazy to take it down.
Leo, that's so bad. That's such a bad reason.
Yeah,
Oh my
just
goodness.
imagine if I take down in third day, nothing will be happen after that.
True, but yeah, I guess it was more interesting because you left it for so long. What ended up happening was the one in Block 1 had racist and quite inflammatory statements written all over it. Well, not all over, in 2 or 3 places.
Yeah.
There were, well, I counted like 2 or 3 slurs on it by the time it got taken down. And it got taken down by the lecturers. Not you, which is not that you wouldn't have taken it down, but you didn't realize that someone had written stuff on it.
I don't even like realize to be taken down.
Yeah. Yeah, because it had been there so long it had become background noise, right? Like the wall was starting to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like so
I need to take, part of the reason I haven't taken down the wall yet is I need to take some good photos of it.
so like 52.
Yeah.
You have a little bit of minute. So I switched the pen in the middle. So like blue and red, so it actually got a different layer.
Yeah.
Like you can clearly see which part is earlier, which part is later. That's just good thing. So it's
If
like
you know what order the pen's in. Like, depending on the drawing, you don't know for sure.
yeah. So like it's quite a clever decision in the end. Like I had it, like I'm happy I did that one decision. So now I can, because I got a little bit time later, I can do a little bit more things for that.
Yeah.
But will be next episode. It's quite surprised. It stopped me all the plan in the end. Like, and also interesting because in the beginning that project is come from another project. That project I'm not going to mention too much in here, but it's like people paint on the streets.
I
And
think you've talked about it before. I'm pretty sure I knew about that because I'm pretty sure you talked about it while we were talking about the film festival.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
So I'm going to quite shortly, like use 1 minute to talk about it. So people political on the streets, and
Yeah.
it was cover
It was in
everything
London.
else
Yeah.
in London, and then people start fight on it, and it's fight so bad, the government need to wipe it out.
Yeah.
That's whole story. And in this case, the lecturer, professor, take it down. It's just completely exactly same things.
Yeah.
And now he leave. He don't like it when I say you've finished this work.
He was like, oh, yeah. I think that's because he didn't finish it. He was forced to, and so he doesn't like...
No, it's because I compare him with the government.
Oh, yeah, actually, no, that is 100% why he doesn't like it.
Yeah,
I
like
would
say,
not.
oh, you understand what the government did. Like,
Not in a bad way, in a good way, but he would...
like, oh.
Yeah, the lights off on the camera.
So, like, yeah. That, I would say that is the end of the episode.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah, so in the end, we'll probably put out some photos.
We'll put up some photos of the work probably, and we'll show you a clip, a latest view of what our view was.
Yeah.
While you're watching us. It's probably what you're looking at right now, I imagine, if Leo's lined up the videos. Something like that. We'll
Yeah,
see.
right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Cool. Thank you
So,
so much for listening.
Thank you for your back.
There will ideally be at least 2 more of these, hopefully 4 or 6. But, you know, at least 2 more. We'll see how next term goes, because we're both going to be quite busy again.
Yeah, I definitely should do more because I'm going to use it on my workbook a lot. I actually will decide like I'm going to transcription all the text out and then put the parts we talk about our works on the workbook
Your work
together. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, if you
Directly.
do that, I wouldn't mind a copy of the text, and it'd probably also, if you let me proofread it, I can help make sure that it actually says what it says.
Yeah, and also like it won't be the major text, but it will be background text. It will be
Yeah.
like give the richness of the
Okay.
workbook.
Well,
Yeah.
You'll have some more. I still have that episode that I said I was going to release a wee while back, but I never got around to finishing editing the memes in it. So if I get really bored of writing next semester, I'll finish that. I'm kind of sad that the interview part of my project didn't go anywhere, but there's not much I can do about it at this point. I just don't have time. I might do. Maybe I'll sit Luke down and be like, come talk to me about what a graphic designer should think like, and he'll get really defensive. And I'll be like, no, this is genuine.
Oh, I want to see
You
that.
want to get that? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Oh, maybe we'll do small tiny episodes to ask everyone in the graphic design school what graphic design is.
Oh,
Someone
that
hold the
could be-
camera, someone ask question.
Yeah, we'll walk up.
We can do it now, you know.
No, we're not doing it now. There's
We
not
can
enough
do it
people-
now. We
there's
got
not-
two
there's
people
not
here.
enough- They're not graphic design students. You
We
can't.
can ask them.
You could ask. You go on then, Leo.
Okay, what's the graphic design?
What?
What's graphic design?
You really put me on the spot here.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be an easier question.
Don't worry, we're design students and we don't know, so you can just say you don't know.
Well, what's your answer then?
It's whatever
We don't know. We have a whole episode to talk about that. Right, we got to eat something even bigger.
Preston,
What's the graphic design?
What's what?
what's
graphic design.
What's graphic design?
Yeah.
How would you define it?
How do I define it?
The graphic design.
Fine.
Well, graphic design is everywhere, but like if you had to boil it down, graphic by its very nature is graphic elements within.
Design.
There you go.
And design,
Very,
yeah.
Right.
Very formal
Right.
answer.
Full answer. Right. But that's the end of the episode.
There you go.
See you.
You answer.